Today on DelmarvaLife, we're going down to the southernmost town in Maryland, the seafood capital of the world, the Somerset County community of Crisfield.
It's just a great place to come. You know, you feel like you're home. You really do feel like you're home.
And that home has a rich history, one that its people are proud to tell.
People should come and learn about it because it's impactful.
Today we explore some of the hidden gems in Crisfield.
We're definitely a destination area. You don't happen across this by accident.
And places that are becoming all the buzz.
It was so moving to see this place really blossom as a community, as an art community.
From the beautiful backdrops
We have one of the best marinas on the bay.
to some of the fabulous food.
Change is not always a bad thing. Change is a good thing.
So sit back and relax as we present DelmarvaLife Small Town Series, Crisfield.
The city of Crisfield in Somerset County is known as the seafood capital of the world, a city that was built on oysters both figuratively and literally.
Yeah, as we'll learn later on in the show, much of the 3.6 square miles of the city has a solid base of oyster shells. Take a look at this picture. It was taken in 1891, an oyster house surrounded by shells.
So then, if the world is our oyster, Crisfield is the pearl.
That's right.
It's a good story right there. The first inhabitants of what is now Crisfield were the Anamessex Indians. Their small fishing village was known as Anamessex Neck. In 1663, Benjamin Summers, a settler from England, arrived here and eventually patented plots of land that became known as Summers Cove.
Yeah, Summers Cove soon became a major East Coast distribution center for seafood. But it was this man right here that would become the namesake of the town. John W. Crisfield was a Princess Anne attorney and in 1866 was instrumental in bringing the Eastern Shore Railroad to Summers Cove. The railroad bolstered the economy. 6 years later, the town was formally incorporated and renamed Crisfield. Now, there are at least 7 Victorian houses in the historic area around Main Street and Somerset Avenue of Crisfield, all of which have some type of a ghost story attached to them. There was said to once be an entire ghost family appear to a visitor at Gossamer on Somerset Avenue, a man, a woman, and 2 little girls.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Another story indicates the spirit of a child attached to the home of Richard Christie, whose son died at an early age after a brief illness.
Now, the Ananias Crockett house on Main Street previously had occupants who said that they could hear a choir when it rained and certain doors would not stay locked.
And the Corbin Library in Crisfield is the only library in America that also serves as a tomb.
Now, a lot of Crisfield's business district was destroyed by a huge fire back in 1928. The fire was reported to have begun in the Crisfield Opera House. At the time of the fire, the Opera House was filled with an audience viewing the 8:30 p.m. show of Love, starring John Gilbert and Greta Garbo. The Arcade Theater was built a few years after that, assumed a prominent position in the social life of Crisfield with weekly movies and stage entertainment.
Pretty interesting. Now, when the Depression hit the county, or the country rather, in the 1930s, 2 Crisfield brothers created a booming business helping local hunters. Do you know who those brothers are?
Let's see. I'll bet it's them right there.
Yeah, Steve and Lem Ward carved duck decoys and along the way invented a prestigious new art form which would earn them unsought fame and acclaim. As kids, the Wards were poor but passionate duck hunters. It's estimated that the Wards produced 20,000 birds over their long careers. They've earned honorary college degrees, a National Heritage Award from the National Endowment for the Arts, and an entire museum named after them in Salisbury. I know you know the name of that one.
I believe I do,
Yeah.
but I bet they never thought one day, after we carve these decoys, we're going to have our very own museum in Salisbury.
They were actually barbers by trade, both
Really?
of them, and they continued to be barbers throughout their career as duck carvers.
So this was a
decoy
little side
carvers.
thing.
Little
How about
side
that?
thing that turned out well for them.
Now, Taws, that's a pretty big name around here. Other famous people from Crisfield share that name. Here at WBOC, we are quite fond of Crisfield legend Scorchy Taws. Lived his entire life in Crisfield. Everybody there knew Scorchy Taws. Scorchy was 50 years old when he started the Outdoor Report at WBOC. At the time, he was already one of the most respected photographers of the entire Mid-Atlantic. Well, we lost Scorchy in 2007, but his legacy lives on with his grandson, Andrew, who hosts Outdoors Delmarva.
And does a wonderful job.
Yes.
Love having him here. Another famous Taws from Crisfield is the 54th governor, Maryland Governor J. Millard Taws. Taws was born in Crisfield in 1894 and earned a living working in lumbering and canning firms that were owned by his father. His political career began in 1930 when he was elected as clerk of the court for Somerset County. Taws would go on to be elected Comptroller of Maryland and eventually governor in 1958. He held that position until 1967. Now, in the mid-70s, Taws was treasurer of Maryland.
I think I read somewhere that he was the only one to be elected to the top 3 slots.
Top 3 slots, yeah. A little later in the show, we're actually going to visit his namesake, which is the J. Millard Taws Museum.
And there you go. The unofficial kickoff to Maryland's political season happens in Crisfield. It's named after Governor Taws. The J. Millard Taws Crab and Clam Bake is a must-attend, see, and be seen political institution in Crisfield. It's equal parts of seafood and schmooze. Happens every July at Summers Cove Marina.
And the heat doesn't bother them one bit.
Not a bit.
They just want their seafood. Well, in true Crisfield style, seafood is a huge way to wrap up the summer as well. The National Hard Crab Derby is a week-long celebration that wraps up Labor Day weekend. The unique crab-themed festival features crab races, crab cooking and picking contests, carnival rides, arts and crafts vendors, live entertainment, beauty pageants, a parade, fireworks. You get the picture. It's also a time when local watermen can show off their skills with the annual boat docking competition. Working watermen put their work boats into high gear to see who can maneuver the boat into a space and secure it the fastest. And it's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, it's time to dive into and really get to know all about Crisfield. We start by highlighting some of the major players and what has turned Crisfield into the quaint community it is today. We'll show you next.
Crisfield wouldn't be what it is today without its history, so that's also on today's lineup. We're going to hear how a group is working to preserve Crisfield's history and heritage, and you are invited to see it. Artists are also invited to get involved with Crisfield's Art and Entertainment District. It's a budding concept, and the passion behind it is what will contribute to its success. We will make that connection.
You'll find plenty of art outside in Crisfield, particularly at Janes Island State Park. Connect with nature, relax, camp, get on the water, whatever you want to do. We'll show you why Janes Island is the place to do it. We'll also show you why Summers Cove Marina is so much more than a place to dock the boat. Think of it as a family-friendly destination, one that has you covered as soon as you step foot onto the property.
And a whole bunch of foots are going to be running to Bubby's Wing Shack. Wait till you see the variety on the menu and hear the touching story of why the Bubby's team wants to serve you. We are looking forward to learning all about Crisfield in this small town series.
We'll be right back.
DelmarvaLife is brought to you by Peninsula Regional Medical Center. Honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. The law offices of Tunnel and Razor, Spicer Brothers Construction, Gateway Subaru, and A&A Companies. The following DelmarvaLife segments in today's Small Town Series are brought to you by the City of Crisfield.
The City of Crisfield. You hear that, what comes to mind?
Oh, well, seafood has to be up there because Crisfield is known as the seafood capital of the world, the crab capital of the world. So that's just scratching the surface.
Scratching the surface. Add to that the water, the wildlife, the wonderful people who call Crisfield home. The way life used to be in the Somerset County community, you've got the makings of a small town that stands out on Delmarva. DelmarvaLife's Katie Zerilli sat down with a man who has an admiration for Crisfield that's hard to beat. And as you're about to hear, it's easy to see why.
Established in 1872, Maryland's southernmost town has long been referred to as the crab capital of the world. Crisfield is a quaint community, and it's responsible for helping the seafood industry flourish many years ago.
Crisfield was very key in the growth of the oysters on the eastern shore and on the Chesapeake Bay because its unique placement midway of the shore. It was great for oyster harvest, and that's what built Crisfield. Actually, most of the town you see on this end, we're at the city dock right now, and most of the town you see down here is built on oyster shells.
Buddy Ward is the president of the Crisfield Chamber of Commerce. He says seafood is what helped develop this waterfront community, but now, years later, tourism is what drives people here.
Especially ecotourism and things like that is, you know, if you like bird watching or boating or fishing or anything like that, paddling, stand-up paddle boards, kayaking, anything along those lines, this is an absolutely beautiful place for that.
He says it's a neat place to spend a few hours or a whole weekend. And if you're a history buff, hold on to your top hat.
If you like anything that has to do with Revolutionary War or Civil War, this is the place to come. I mean, it happened right here, okay? The Chesapeake Bay, it's where it all happened, and this is the access. We are the gateway to the Chesapeake right here in Crisfield.
And today, the Chesapeake is there to take you to other spots nearby that are downright remarkable.
If you haven't been out on a boat out of Crisfield into the Chesapeake Bay and seen some of the surrounding islands and the different places, you truly have missed as beautiful scenery as you see anywhere in the world.
Buddy says you can't visit Crisfield without stopping at the local shops. And you can't leave the local shops without finding something you like, especially if you like taking a piece of town home with you.
You can get stuff that's branded Crisfield. You can get a lot of neat Maryland branded items. You know, we love our Maryland flag here. We like to put the Maryland flag on everything. So a lot of unique opportunities like that in Crisfield.
Another unique opportunity visitors have, escaping the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
Opportunity to step back, opportunity to slow down just a little bit. You know, our pace gets really fast.
Buddy says he does, however, envision growth for the town, and he's excited about it.
We have a lot of established infrastructure, and that is going to be expanded upon here in the very near future.
Crisfield's calendar is also quite full of extraordinary events throughout the year, like the Crab and Clam Bake. Whatever it is that brings folks to town, Buddy's always pleased to hear what they have to say.
We love meeting people for the first time in town that just are taken back by just how pleasant and how open the town is and how inviting it is. It's just a great place to come. You know, you feel like you're home. You really do feel like you're home.
And if you feel like that, there's a good chance you'll want to go back.
You know, you look in the dictionary under the word passionate, there's a picture of Buddy Ward right there. Buddy stopped by the studio last week to get us pumped up for the National Hard Crab Derby. It is impossible not to smile as we listen to Buddy talk about Crisfield.
Yeah, even in that interview, he just got more and more excited as it went on.
Yeah.
Okay.
As with most towns on Delmarva, Crisfield has a rich and treasured history, a lot of that history laid out in the Crisfield Heritage Foundation's J. Millard Tawes Historical Museum on 9th Street.
Yeah, there you'll find different exhibits that showcase Crisfield's 3.5 centuries of history, stories about its people, and features that give you a better understanding of Crisfield's deep roots. And as we hear from DelmarvaLife's Katie Zarilli, you'll likely walk away with a stronger appreciation of Crisfield than you've ever had in the past.
Crisfield, a town built on oyster shells. A town that once had a big impact on the world economy. A town that was the birthplace of 2 master woodcarving brothers. Undoubtedly a town with a rich history that ought to be celebrated.
People should come and learn about it because it's impactful.
And the J. Millard Tawes Museum gives them that opportunity. The museum, named after Maryland's 54th governor, serves as the central hub for the Crisfield Heritage Foundation, whose mission is to protect, preserve, and present the heritage and culture of the area. Casey Goldsboro is the foundation's executive director.
It's a personal connection, you know. I was born and raised down here. I always heard about it, and now I get to be the one to tell people about it, which makes it so much special.
Walk through the museum's doors and you'll find displays ranging from the Ward brothers and their duck carvings to boat modeling and the opening of the railroad. Then, step out back and find even more. One of the museum's most popular exhibits is this live crab shanty where folks can come and interact with creatures of the bay like him.
We not only have hard crabs and soft crabs, but we also have swelling toads and horned toads. Any type of fish you can catch in the bay we usually have here.
They keep things fresh by bringing in interchangeable exhibits every year as well. Casey is excited about a Smithsonian Waterways exhibit that'll be there December 7th through January 18th. He says prepping for this takes about a year, but it's worth it.
You know, my joy in life is coming here every day and being able to present the history that I know so well and I love dearly. So it's a joy to be able to have the opportunity to do that.
Both kids and adults will find this spot fascinating, and they'll leave having learned a whole lot.
Mainly people are surprised by how large Crisfield was and the impact that Crisfield has on a world economy at one point in time. Crisfield was once known to ship oysters all the way to England and Australia on different occasions, and it's just to realize how small a community affected the world in the past times.
They're also hoping to make this old customs house on Main Street into a tourist attraction. And anything else relating to advancing the community, they're on board.
Long term, we would really like to help promote the area as well as the development of Crisfield for the future.
But of course, without the past, there would be no future. And so as the foundation presses forward into what's to come, they'll continue to preserve and present what already was.
And you know, like Casey mentioned, I don't think a lot of people are aware of just how big Crisfield was and prosperous it was back in the day when they got that railroad through there.
Yeah.
I mean, seafood was going everywhere, and Marion Station as well, which is on down the line,
Right,
I guess
right,
you could
right.
say.
The historical waters run deep in Crisfield. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, you know, if there's one thing we've learned about Delmarva over the years, it's that there is no shortage of artistic talent. And a lot of that talent can be found in Crisfield. Now, that might take you by surprise. After all, it seems like much of the buzz about Crisfield centers around the water.
But take a closer look and you'll find an arts and entertainment district that is getting ready to flourish. And at the core of that is the Corbin Studio and Gallery on Main Street.
When you think of the town of Crisfield, art probably isn't what comes to mind. But you'd be surprised by the quality and diversity of the different works that artists here create. Step inside the Corbin Studio and Art Gallery and see for yourself.
There are so many types of artists working here. I think the beautiful natural setting and the historic buildings attract them, and people just don't realize how much art there is here.
The Studio and Art Gallery is a product of the Crisfield Arts and Entertainment District, which was established a year ago. It's not officially open to the public yet, but they've hosted 3 different events there. Seeing the building bustling with people and pieces brought tears for those behind the project.
It was so moving to see this place really blossom as a community, as an art community.
Jennifer Merritt is the Arts and Entertainment District Coordinator. She says the purpose of the space is twofold. First, artists can show off their work, and second, the community can enjoy that work. In fact, if you're an artist, they want to hear from you.
Interested artists can register at crisfieldarts.org and send in photos of their work.
And that work can include a wide variety of different pieces.
We're not just looking for paintings, we're interested in sculpture, crafts that represent the region, a wide variety. We've also had poets exhibit here, and we'll be looking for people for live studio interactions too, so people who might do poetry readings or book readings.
The name Corbin comes from Lillian Stratton Corbin. She was an actress originally from Crisfield who moved to New York and became very successful, but died young in a car accident. Her ashes reside in the Studio and Gallery, which was formerly the Crisfield Library.
Her husband wanted to return her to the people she loved so dearly.
Perhaps more exciting than the project could be the community's open-armed welcome.
It has been so heartwarming to see the variety of art here, but also to see how warmly the community has responded to the artwork.
And this isn't the only space to view art in Crisfield. Jennifer says the Somerset County Arts Council has opened a new gallery near the city dock.
It is so stunning inside. I definitely recommend that people visit.
A stop in either one of these places might leave you there longer than expected. and might just help you in ways you can't imagine.
Everyone is an artist, and I think art is so healing for individuals. I think it's healing for a community. I think it helps with our growth, both as a community and as individuals, and helps with our peace of mind.
It's an amazing story. Now, maybe you are an actor or a musician or a writer. All artists are welcome to get involved with the Crisfield Arts and Entertainment District, and we're going to have more information on how you can do that on DelmarvaLife.com.
That is a really neat little museum. I'm going to have to stop there.
Connecting with nature and taking in the serene scenes along the beautiful water around Crisfield. Janes Island State Park is the place to do it, whether you want to enjoy some camping or spend the day on what's described as an isolated beach. Janes Island offers it all. DelmarvaLife's Katie Zerilli stopped by to show you this picture-perfect park.
Perfectly peaceful and purely pristine. The 200 acres that make up Janes Island State Park offer you a quiet spot to enjoy a beautiful place.
You're never going to get as close to the outdoors and to nature as you're going to get when you're camping.
And if you camp here in particular, you in the lower Chesapeake Bay will likely become fast friends. The park has 30 miles of water trail.
It's a little bit different. It's salt marsh, so it's not as protected. So you get a nice clear view. You can kind of see forever.
They've got canoes and kayaks available for rent, so you don't have to worry about bringing yours. And park rangers say people typically return raving about their experience on the water.
We have a beach out there that a lot of people don't know is out there. It's only accessible by boat. It's about 5 miles of white sand beaches.
The abundance of wildlife around makes the spot ideal for fishing, crabbing, or good old-fashioned bird watching.
Mostly a lot of waterfowl, osprey. You can see a lot of the osprey here. They nest in pairs. They'll come in usually early spring. So that's something you can come check out. There's other kind of waterfowl that you can see too. Blue heron, great blue heron, there's a lot of them around.
And if you're out on the water and are curious about what you see in the water, the park has a nature center that'll help you get a closer look.
They're going to see diamondback terrapins, and what's really great about our nature center is that we do have diamondback terrapins that you can look at really super close, because oftentimes when you see them out in the wild, they're a little bit shy. You'll see their heads bobbing, and then they'll just duck under the water as soon as you get close enough to get a glance at them.
And oh snap! Look who else you can meet in there.
She's probably the biggest snapping turtle you've ever seen. She's about 50 pounds. Her name is Sherman, and we do feed her every Saturday, which is great, so we kind of make that a whole educational thing.
That's not all that's happening on the weekends. Throughout the summer, the park has activities on the schedule. Unique ones, though, like making pinecone bird feeders or seed bombs.
Really, my favorite part about working here is kind of when you get to show kids things about nature and they start putting pieces together and you see the gears in their brain turning and they get excited about being outside and excited to explore, and that just warms my heart.
Let's get to the question I know is on your mind. What about the camping sites? Well, each is about 25 by 25. They've also got cabins, some of which are full service. In addition, they have a conference center if your group is big. The park is known for being safe, spick, and span.
We get a lot of comments on our cleanliness. I know often in our comments we're one of the cleanest state parks.
Their busy season runs from Memorial Day to Labor Day. You can make reservations online or by phone. These friendly folks want to meet you.
We're definitely a destination area. You don't happen across us by accident, but we hope that you put us on the map.
So as you chart your next outdoor adventure, jot down the idea of Janes Island State Park. Quietly connect with nature. Experience a unique place you won't forget.
And it seems like a wonderful place to bring a family to experience a little bit of outdoors. Sarah adds that in the non-summer months, Janes Island State Park offers tours for students, so she'd love to connect with more teachers. We have their contact information on our website, DelmarvaLife.com.
The water that surrounds Crisfield makes it the ideal place for fishing, boating, sailing, swimming.
It also sets the stage for some beautiful views. So it just makes sense for Crisfield to be home to an amenity-packed marina that can make your visit to the community simple and serene.
Yeah, that's what you'll find at Summers Cove Marina. In fact, that's what boaters from all over the world have found there, and the team has no plans of slowing down their exceptional service anytime soon. If you're boating on the Chesapeake Bay, you'll find the beautiful Summers Cove Marina nestled by 3 pieces of land in the Tangier Sound.
I've been to 300 marinas or so since I started this job, and Summers Cove has more to offer than any marina I've been to.
Tom Schisler is the executive director of Summers Cove Marina. He says part of what makes the marina stand out is its location.
I have to say, one, our size. Another is the protected harbor. We have just it's a very narrow gut to get in here, and it's completely surrounded. So we're not exposed to a western wind and stuff like that.
The Summers Cove Marina experience begins as soon as boaters pull up to the dock.
Our dock hands are some of the best. When a boat comes in for a weekend, they run out, catch their lines, hook up their electric, hook up their water, and tell them all about Crisfield.
It's a community that Marina manager Mary Taylor holds close to her heart, particularly Summers Cove. It's been a part of her life for decades.
Back when my husband and I were dating, back way back, we used to come down here and eat sandwiches just to watch the boats come and go. So when the opportunity arose, I took the job as the office manager, and it's just grown since then.
So has the marina's list of amenities. Since its establishment in the 60s, the marina has expanded to offer 515 boat slips, 15 piers, non-ethanol gas and diesel, and 2 floating docks.
We also have a boat ramp. We also have 7 sets of bathrooms that are air conditioning, and that's unheard of a lot around the bay. And 5 of them have showers.
The team at Summers Cove Marina also has the food covered, not only for boaters, but for anyone who craves a hearty meal or a refreshing drink.
We believe is one of the longest standing bars in Maryland at the Red Shell Shanty. It's 60 foot long. At nighttime it lights up and is really pretty. But you can go up there and stand up and have your drinks and watch the boats come and go. You can also come in by boat to the restaurant for drinks or eats or whatever you'd like.
Perhaps you have plans for a picnic with friends or family. Mary says Summers Cove Marina is on it. They have grills, picnic tables, and pavilions. On top of all of the amenities, you can consider Summers Cove Marina much more than just a place to dock your boat and relax. It's actually part of the core of Crisfield.
When people come in for the weekend, they're here to spend money. They're here for to visit the shops and the restaurants and activities and events and so forth. So we're one of the economic engines.
And it's an engine the team hopes will keep on running for years to come. In fact, Mary says they have their eyes set on the future.
We also want to increase the boating traffic. It seems like a lot of the boaters go down the western shore and skip from marina to marina, and we're kind of like centrally located on the eastern shore. So if we can get the word out that we're here and we have one of the best marinas on the bay, I think that'll solve everything.
Combine that with the team's commitment to ensuring a memorable experience, and you have what has anchored Summers Cove Marina as a Delmarva treasure.
The total package the Summers Cove Marina has is what really sets us apart. We have everything that boaters are looking for. And if we don't have it, we're gonna make sure that we get it taken care of for it. We pride ourselves in our customer service.
And Tom says Summers Cove is also the gateway to Smith and Tangier Islands, and there's a school boat that transfers kids over 12 miles of open water every day. He says his dad used to talk about walking uphill to school, but to watch these kids travel by boat in some nasty weather, that's really something to see.
Well, no, walking uphill in Crisfield might be something worth seeing as well.
Right?
Now, we can't talk about Summers Cove Marina without mentioning the National Hard Crab Derby, which takes place Labor Day weekend, one of Crisfield's largest events of the year. It features everything crab, from crab races to cooking to crab picking contests and a whole bunch more.
The National Hard Crab Derby is a week-long event that kicks off on August 26th at Summers Cove Marina. And as we said, there are different events all week and weekend. You'll find more information on DelmarvaLife.com.
By now, you're starting to get a pretty good handle on some of the neat and unique places that you'll find when you visit Crisfield. We are adding one more to that list during this small town series. Bubbas Wing Shack. Now, don't let the name throw you off. Yes, the menu does offer some of the best wings that you'll ever get your hands on anywhere, but that's only the start of it. How about shrimp tacos, crab salad, bangin' baked beans, cheddar, garlic mashed potatoes? Oh, and the view, well, how about this? How about if we just let DelmarvaLife's Katie Zerilli show you?
Well, if you're here in Crisfield and you're wanting a bite to eat, we've got the perfect place for you. We're here at Bubbas. I'm joined by Renee Mears. Renee, you are the owner and the head chef.
Yes.
Tell me all about this place. You just opened up.
Yes. We opened up in March. We had a little roadside shack, as you will. This building became available, so we jumped on the opportunity. My husband was recently diagnosed with a form of leukemia, and he wanted to make sure that we had a place for me and my family to set us up for the future.
And what can we find here?
Oh, we sell everything from wings to fresh local seafood to barbecue.
Cool, and how's business been so far?
Great, great. We've been busy. Open breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
A lot of locals, a lot of tourists, day trippers. Been pretty busy.
And you've got some unique kind of decorations in here.
Yes,
That kind of set you apart.
Yes, we decided to go with this decor to kind of see how that change is not always a bad thing. Change is a good thing.
What have your customers kind of said as they review your food?
We've had great feedback. They're loving it. It's all fresh, nothing frozen. The customer service, they love the girls here. So,
well, the most important feedback is going to come from me.
Yes.
Right now.
Right.
Where we're told we're going to get a bite to eat here.
Yes.
So we've got our friend here. Ooh, here's the service. Okay. Those are massive.
Yes.
All right.
We are known for our big wings.
Oh, this is going to be wild. Okay. So tell me what we have in front of us. So much is happening.
To your right,
now.
that is our Maryland crab.
Okay.
It's made from Maryland blue crab, and we get our crab meat local, fresh cut boardwalk fries.
Ooh.
These are our hand-breaded wings with our homemade sauces. We have our sweet and spicy, our homemade Bubbas, which is from the name. My son created the recipe when he was like 19 years old.
Okay.
And one of the most popular is our garlic parmesan for the people that don't like meat.
So good. Okay.
And this is very popular. These are our shrimp tacos, hand-breaded shrimp on our homemade slaw, topped with our sweet red chili sauce, kind of spicy.
Cool. All right, which one should I try first? Crab cake?
Definitely the crab cake.
All right,
That's
crab
probably
cake.
our most popular.
Do I put anything on it, or do I just go
You
for
could,
it?
but I think no need to.
Just
yeah,
go.
I would go for it. I wouldn't
right.
hide the taste.
I haven't had crab cake too often.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Mmm.
Yeah, it's fresh.
That is so fresh. Are these spicy?
These ones are spicy.
These ones are spicy. There's 3 different sauces.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This is our homemade Bubbas. This is homemade. Well, they're all homemade, but this
They're all
one's
homemade.
spicy. This one's not.
All right.
It's got a
I'm gonna jump on the spicy one.
Yes.
Just go big. All right. Whoa.
You might need that.
That's a wild ride. Yeah. We're gonna keep on eating this stuff because I have a lot of work to do, obviously, around me. But thank you so much, and we'll send it back to you. Yes, of course, and we'll send it back to you guys in the studio while I go to town.
And now we know why she was so ready to go do that story. You're going to find Bubbas Wing Shack on West Main in Crisfield. Now we know that seeing that food has whet your appetite, so if you really want to see what else Bubbas has to offer, go to DelmarvaLife.com for a link to the menu. All you have to do is click on what's happening today. You know, we learned some of the neatest things. And I think you knew a whole bunch of this already about Crisfield today, but there was a bunch of it that I didn't know.
There was a bunch I didn't know either. I'm totally, just the whole oyster shell thing.
Yeah.
The city is built on oyster shells.
Oyster shells.
That's amazing.